We feel like we did what we were supposed to do and we feel like we're moving on. A chapter in our life is closed.
Oh yeah.
We did it. Hi YouTube fam.
What's going on, guys? Good to be back.
The Hubs. We decided to join. We're just going to take you through our daily devotional. We're going to start with Jesus Calling. I'm going to read a little portion of it, and then we're going to talk back and forth to each other and with you guys about what we got out of it, and hopefully you're able to relate to it and get something out of it as well. On March 13th, it says, learn to live above your circumstances. This requires focused time with me, the one who overcame the world. Trouble and distress are woven into the very fabric of the perishing world. Only my life and you can empower you to face this endless flow of problems with good cheer.
What I kind of got from that one was the world is a fallen world. It's the constant trouble, constant peril, constant problems all the time. Really the only way that you're going to find your way through that and like sort out what's important and what isn't important is having God in your life. So you kind of have to like take yourself out of it and look at the situation, look at all the different situations and say like, in the big plan and the big scheme of things, like what is really important here? Should I really be worrying about like this parking ticket that I got and stressing like crazy or something like that? Not everything is so critical and so important that you have to lose your mind over it.
When you have God in your life, you actually gain his perspective on things, and just what he's saying, it just kind of takes you out of the situation. So when you're in one of those days where it's just, you have a parking ticket, you're late to work, you're late to an appointment, all this stuff is going on.
Somebody was a jerk at the gym.
Right, and it's just like making you fume up to where you feel like you're getting to that point. And before you get to that point, take yourself out of the situation and just look at it from outside perspective and try to look at it from God's perspective. And it even says here, I shine peace into your troubled mind and troubled heart. Little by little, you are freed from earthly shackles and lifted up above your circumstances. So it says that he helps you to distinguish between what's important and what's not. What is something that you should actually kind of be really concerned over and what you really shouldn't. Try not to waste your time getting your panties in a wad about like things that you probably shouldn't really have your panties in a wad about.
And that applies to everything. That can apply to relationships, jobs, just life in general.
And speaking about relationships, it's kind of like choose your battle type thing. Like, we could easily sit here and argue about how the fork should go down so that you don't put your hand on, you know, the thing.
I put them down, just so you guys know.
He does now.
I always have.
No, you haven't.
We said we weren't going to argue. I always
Choose
have.
your battles wisely. That's what I'm saying. You can sit there and argue about something dumb like that, or, you know, something around the house, or you can just think about the fact that you get another day with your husband, and do you really want to spend 10 minutes arguing over something so dumb? Seriously, like, you're not promised to the next day with that person that you love and that you married or that you're with or whatever the case might be for you. Before you start to argue about something so incredibly dumb and waste an entire 10 minutes, 5 minutes, hour of your life, just think about it. Is it really worth it? And the answer is probably no.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, in eternity, after this life, is me winning that argument about the forks going down or up gonna mean anything? Not at all.
I'm so glad we agree that they go down.
They do go down.
We are also going to read from The Confident Woman. This is on March 13th as well, and it is titled New Beginnings. One of the great things about a relationship with God is that he always provides new beginnings. Just let that soak in for a second. Because I think a lot of us get hung up on when relationships come to an end, you know, whether that's business or personal or whatever it might be. You know, when something like that comes to an end, it sometimes feels like the entire world is like crashing down around you, and it's like so awful, and it's just not fun to experience it. But I find a lot of peace in having a relationship with God, especially when it says like he always provides new beginnings. That just gives me such peace that it's like you have something to look forward to. You should still have hope that there is something to look forward to. That's not the end all be all. The world's not over. Like, things are not over. It's just you're closing one chapter and you're opening up a new chapter.
Yeah, just because a door closes in your face doesn't mean a new one's not going to open up the very next day or that same minute.
It also says recovering from pain or disappointment of any kind is not something that just happens to some people and not to others. It's a decision. So it's saying, you know, people who can get over disappointment, it's not like they're gifted, like, oh, okay, they just got over it really quickly. They made it a conscious decision, like, I'm going to get over this and I'm going to move on. And that's something that you have to do whenever you're faced with a situation or something where you're incredibly disappointed or let down or hurt or whatever it might be. You have to make that decision to move on from that.
Yeah, when I was 23, my mom was actually killed in a car accident by a drunk driver. And that was like the hardest thing I've ever been through in my life. It was out of nowhere, and I was in like a pretty bad place for a while. I didn't know what I was gonna do with myself for the longest time, 6, 8 months. I don't even remember how long. It was a long time. And then I just kind of, you know what, I was like, I can't be like this anymore. And I just started like clawing my way out of that hole and living every day, and just finally recovered, finally made it. Obviously, I miss my mom all the time, especially around the holidays and her birthday and all that kind of stuff. But it's nowhere near like it was before. I'm so much better now, and with God in my life, I know I'm going to see her again, so that makes it even better. And she's going to be so happy. I'm going to be so happy. Everybody's going to be together again.
Kind of going along with what he said there, it says, this kind of person who can get over it, you refuse to think about what you have lost, and instead you take inventory of what you have left and you begin using it. So instead of focusing on what you might have lost, focus on what you still have and just make the most out of it, because that's all you can do.
That makes me think of like veterans and people who lose limbs in battle and stuff, and they come home and they're like, yeah, they're down, they're like super hard for a while, but then it's like you see these guys doing like powerlifting meets and stuff with one leg, and they're just insane, and they're like animals, and that kind of stuff's crazy inspiring. Those guys, you know, they went through some crazy stuff and really hard times, and they're beasts. They made their way out of it.
And it says not only can you recover, but you can also be used to help other people recover. How many times have you seen someone like that all of a sudden they start some sort of like foundation or, you know, thing for other people that are going through that, and they can say like, hey, I just went through that, and I know what you're going through, and look at me, like I'm happy, I'm embracing it, I'm living with it, whatever it might be.
I actually had a friend who lost his dad a few years after I lost my mom, and it was like, he was younger than me. He was 18 when it happened, and I like thank God that I was there for him, because I know how hard it was, and I was able to help him like through my experience to get through it and to be better and to recover. And there's always a plus side.
It encourages you at the end. It says, be a living example of a confident woman or man who always recovers from setbacks, no matter how difficult or how frequent they are. By being able to do that, by just having the strength, asking God for the strength to keep going despite whatever comes your way, you'll be a testament to other people. And I think that's kind of why sometimes God gives people who are faithful to Him really hard times and hardships, because He wants to actually use them to break through to other people, because people are going to notice that, and they're going to see that and say like, why is that person staying positive when they're encountering some of the worst times of their life? Like, why are they able to still have hope? It's going to be, so people are going to notice that and just say there's something different about them. I want to know what's different about them. And that's just a testament to God and the strength that He can give you to keep going and stay positive and stay on the right path regardless of what's going on. The prayer today says, Lord, thank you for every new beginning you are making for my life. Help me to put the past aside and move on with your help. Amen. I think a key component to that is with your help, because I think a lot of the things that we do and things that we overcome, we wouldn't be able to do it without His help. So it's essential just to recognize that you need His help and to ask for His help. Just have faith and keep moving forward no matter what happens or comes your way. So we kind of just want to update you guys like on what's going on with our lives, and we kind of feel like all these things have been building up in these different situations and relationships, and some doors have closed, some relationships have closed, and it kind of felt like a lot like in the moment and what was going on, and then all of a sudden today, we both feel, you know, these things happened, and then we went and worked out, and after we worked out, we came out of the gym, and it's like, I just felt like everything was like at peace.
Yeah, it was like the calm after the storm, like the sea was flat, and we're just like, both of us, it was really weird. And we're like, it feels like it's time to move on.
Yeah, like we both feel like there's this major chapter in our life that has just closed, and it's just the weirdest feeling. It's like all of a sudden, like he said, it was just like,
yeah, and at the exact same time that chapter's closing, a new one is opening up, and it's
and it's amazing, and we kind of see the vision of like where things are going, and we feel like we're being moved right now in a different direction, and it's insane, and we're both like so open for it and so ready for it, and we're excited for it. Like,
super excited.
I can't even imagine what God has planned in our lives, and we're being able to see why certain doorways were closed, why some were never opened, even though we kept knocking and knocking and knocking, and it's like everything is kind of making sense, and it's just crazy. It's so crazy.
Can't wait for you guys to see, because I feel like it's going to be happening.
I know, and I feel like it's going to be awesome. And You know, part of that is this whole entire book and series was like put on my heart to do, and I felt like it was for a reason, and I think the reason was simply to be obedient to God. I literally think, I mean, you know, maybe it's more than that. Like, I hope that I helped a lot of people. I feel like from the comment section, I've been able to see that that has kind of happened. I feel like more than anything, God wanted my obedience, and I'm realizing that. And it's cool because it says that He'll always reward you for your obedience, and I feel like we're starting to experience that. And a large part of me doing this is Brandon supporting me in doing this and being like, you gotta film, you gotta get that out, or
I'm like ridiculously proud of her for all of this. Like, it means so much to me, and like seeing her do all of this is just amazing.
So we're very much a team. I know I'm the person that's sitting here recording, but he's always right there. And I'm like, babe, feed me something. Like, I'm feeling tired, or I'm not sure what to say, or
no, like literally feed me, I'm hungry.
Okay, sometimes that too. You know, but we're very much a team effort, and so it's just really cool to have God say, Emily, I want you to do this. Brandon, I want you to do this. And us to say, okay, we're going to do it. Us to get negative feedback and all this negative, you know, pushback towards us, and say, you know what, we're going to do it anyways. And we keep doing it. And then all of a sudden it's coming to the close. This is the episode before the very last one. And then all these things happen, and now we just feel this peace. We feel like we did what we were supposed to do, and we feel like we're moving on.
And today just so happens to be New Beginnings.
Yeah, and today just so happens to be the title of New Beginnings.
There is no coincidence, just so you guys know. Like, he's funny like that.
Yeah, we literally were laughing earlier because of the way that we were feeling, and it's an unexplainable feeling. That's why we keep coming back to saying that, because it's like this thing that we can't explain, where it's like, I definitely feel like God was like laughing in heaven, like, duh, I was gonna do that, you know?
That's just like a pro tip, by the way. Look for coincidences and look for strange stuff like that, because that's when you know. Yeah, that's when you know God is like working and trying to reach out to you. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's comical because it's like so blatantly obvious that it's like God working in your life.
When you're looking for it, it's obvious.
When you're open-minded for it, exactly. So it's just insane. A chapter in our life is closed. What?
Oh yeah.
We did it. But that means time for a new beginning, time for new leaps of faith, completely different leaps of faith, and we're open to wherever that leads us. I will be wrapping up everything in tomorrow's episode and let you know what I'm going to do from here on out on my channel, how I'm going to continue to incorporate this. So.
And thank you guys for all the support throughout all of this. You guys have been amazing. I see all the comments and I read them, and you guys are just awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it just means the world to us. And I actually today got caught up on all of the comments. So I've read every single comment up to this point. It's just been amazing. It's been really cool getting to know you guys and getting to kind of connect with you guys on a deeper level. So this is not goodbye. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. We have been rambling for quite some time. If anyone else is still watching this, we love you guys, but we're just stoked. We're really excited for where everything is taking us. We love you guys, and we'll see you guys in the last episode tomorrow. Can you believe it?
Episode number 30.
30 of 30. So, love you guys, and we'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Bye.
Bye.